Yo, so what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. So on this video, guys, I basically want to go over on, what I've basically learned selling on Amazon for basically the past year. Now, I'm not sure if it's actually been a year or so, but I know it's getting close to it, or maybe it actually has. But it's been basically a year. And so I just want to kind of go, a little bit over what I've actually learned from selling on Amazon, okay? And this is coming from some deep, real shit, okay? From someone who's actually started from scratch, basically starting on Amazon, selling on the platform, to basically just after 1 year, okay? And no, I mean, obviously there's not going to be no Lambo, not no $1 million, no girls or just anything like that, okay? Because this is actually the truth of what it is to sell on Amazon, okay? Now, the point of this video is to get you guys to really think about starting an Amazon business if you're considering it, and knowing what's going to come with it if you actually plan on starting one. And not some fairy tale that a lot of these gurus are trying to place ads in front of you, trying to bullshit you into thinking that it's all fun and games and that you're going to be a millionaire within a month, okay? Trust me, it's none of that. So without further ado, guys, let's get into it and let's basically go over what I have personally learned in the whole year from selling on Amazon. Alright, guys, so one of the few things that I have basically learned from selling on Amazon is that you can sell really fast. Like, you can move products pretty fast on Amazon compared to any other online platform. And it should be no surprise because more than half the country is basically buying from Amazon. And during this pandemic crisis going on, that's just going to increase and increase over time. And I mean, I see this stopping no time soon whatsoever. If anything, selling on Amazon, buying on Amazon is going to grow dramatically throughout the rest of 2020. So that's going to be pretty huge. So with that said, again, it is a platform where you will sell products very fast compared to other platforms such as Mercari, eBay, Poshmark, Etsy. I mean, compared to those platforms, you will sell a lot faster on Amazon, depending on the type of item, prices, and whatnot, just like any other platform. But when it comes to Amazon, I've noticed that you're able to sell way faster on Amazon just because, more than half the country is really buying from Amazon more and more. And that's just one of the first few things. Now, while that may seem, really exciting and, it may get you pumped up a little to start trying to sell on Amazon, there's also a few entry to barriers when it comes to selling on Amazon compared to selling on eBay or any other online platform, okay? Now, one of those is that you're going to kind of need more money with Amazon because you see, Amazon's fees are also actually higher compared to some other platforms, okay? And depending on if you're doing FBA or FBM, which is fulfilled by Amazon or fulfilled by merchant, those fees are going to vary. And if you're doing FBA, well, you're going to pay higher fees and you're going to get less profit. Now, depending on the products as well, you might actually be able to move those products even faster and get your money back and reinvest it into some more products, okay? So you have to be aware of the fees, how much profit you're going to get, because a lot of people will, get you thinking that you're going to make so much money on Amazon. And it may be kind of true, I made a couple of thousand up to this point. And listen, after, all the expenses and whatnot, the profit margins aren't too high depending on the products that you're moving. So again, it's just going to vary from product. It's going to vary because every product has different types of fees as well, okay? And again, if you're doing FBA where you're having Amazon, fulfill these orders and ship them to your customers for you, those fees are going to be a lot higher compared to if you're shipping them out yourself one by one. Now, of course, with that being said, with FBM, you're going to be wasting more time doing that compared to having Amazon do it for you, okay? Now, that's also one of the few things that I've learned with Amazon is that with FBA, you're able to scale this business even more and faster, okay? Because when because you see, with FBA, it's not like merchant fulfilled. With merchant fulfilled, someone buys your product, you have to manually get an envelope box, whatever the product is, put it in there, put some bubble wrap, depending on the item, tape it up, print out a shipping label, and go to the post office and ship it out yourself. With FBA, where Amazon does this for you, you send in multiple products into one giant box or pallets, depending on how you're doing it. So far, I'm doing it by boxes, okay? I'm nowhere near doing pallets yet. But you send multiple items, like let's say, let's say I'm gonna, ship out iPhones. Well, if I have 20 iPhones, I can put all 20 of them, in their brand new boxes, put them in one box, tape them up, ship them straight to the Amazon fulfillment centers. And when I make a sale from one of those phones, Amazon not only deals with the customer service, They also prepare that item, they print out the labels for it, and they ship it out all for you, okay? And that is more scalable compared to doing FBM, because again, Amazon's doing all the work for you, which is also why you're paying higher fees. But I mean, if you take those fees and really think about the long term of how scalable this is, it kind of makes sense, because you're able to, you know, move product in, move product out, do it faster, save more time from doing it yourself one by one, and just having Amazon do all the work for you, okay? So that's one of the few things that I've learned about selling on Amazon compared to eBay, Mercari, and all those other platforms, okay? And trust me, I've been selling on eBay for a while now. So, I mean, having Amazon doing all these things, knowing that you wake up in the morning, you see a few sales, knowing that Amazon's going to do everything for you is a really amazing feeling, especially when you didn't do nothing, you know, on the back end, because, I mean, Amazon's doing basically everything for you. Now, that may not be for everyone with this business model, depending on what type of business model you're doing. But again, that's just one of the first few things that I've learned. Now, another thing with Amazon is that one of the few things that I really like about this business model is that, you know, you're actually getting rewarded for the work you're putting in, okay? Compared to a job, and trust me, I've been on multiple jobs where I've worked pretty hard and I still didn't feel like I was getting paid what I should be getting paid. And that's the thing with Amazon FBA. You know, you put in the work, you put in the grind, you put in the time, and you will get paid, you know, tremendously over time for the work you're actually putting in. Now, of course, it's going to take a lot of research up front, a lot of product research, you know, a lot of, you know, looking for distributors, wholesalers, you know, or, you know, depending on the type of business model you're doing, retail arbitrage or whatever, it's going to pay off, and it's going to feel good knowing that, you know, you made $1,000 in 1 week compared to a job where you're only making like $500 a week. And after taxes, you're not even making the full $500. Now, of course, you know, with Amazon also, that $1,000, you're not making the full $1,000. But again, just knowing that you put in the work, you put in the time, you put in the grind, it pays off tremendously. And I'm absolutely loving it to this point, okay? It's freaking insane how it's going. And especially with this pandemic, you know, it's just making my sales come in faster and faster and faster. Like, I just broken my record right now at this point. You know, like last year I made a few thousand, not too much. And up to this point, I've already surpassed that limit right now, okay? And we're barely in May, okay? So, I mean, if I've already beat my whole past year already, just imagine what I'm going to do for the rest of the year, right? I mean, honestly, I could see myself making either 10 or 20, maybe even 30,000 by the end of the year. But again, it's just a slow grind. It's a process. And as long as we're putting the work in, we're going to be able to keep going, scaling it, and just continue to grow this business, okay? Now, another thing that I've learned so far selling on Amazon, the customer service. Listen, when it comes to other platforms such as eBay, Mercari, and, you know, all those other selling platforms, when someone makes a case against your item, like a buyer wants to return it, want a refund for a certain damaged package, or they simply want to lie and trying to scam you out. Like when it comes to eBay, I've had those cases before. It's easier to negotiate and, you know, have eBay win in your favor and, you know, not get scammed by, you know, a certain customer, and therefore you're able to keep your money. You know, the customer, I don't know what happens with them, but you're not affected by it whatsoever. Now, of course, that won't happen too much, but compared to Amazon, you have a fighting chance as a seller, okay? Now, with Amazon, this is one of the few things I really don't like about Amazon, but it's also the reason why Amazon is growing so dramatically. Is because when it comes to customers on Amazon and they want to refund certain things, even for just no reason whatsoever, Amazon basically, no questions asked, they will basically 99.9999% of the time will refund that customer without any questions whatsoever, okay? And that's kind of what sucks, because if a customer, you know, tells you, you know, they message you and tell you, or they message Amazon and say, hey, I don't want this item no more, boom, you're out of money because they're going to refund that customer for you, and now you just took a minor loss on that item. Now, of course, the chances of that happening are really slim to none, depending on what products you're selling or whatnot. But again, that's just one of the few things that I kind of do hate about Amazon, is that they will favor the customer first no matter what. And if you're planning on selling on Amazon, you have to have that mindset, okay? And it's tough to have that mindset, because I didn't like it, okay? At first I was like, screw that customer, you know, like I was like, screw that. Why would I refund you when something like so simple is your own fault, okay? Like it's insane. But then, you know, over time, it's like I could see why Jeff Bezos is scaling Amazon to the point that it is because, you know, Amazon wants you to, it wants the customers to feel comfortable, it wants you to feel safe, secure, knowing that when you shop on Amazon, you're secured no matter what you buy, no matter what you do. If you want a refund, you're going to get it. If you want an exchange, you're going to get it. I mean, Amazon is always in the customer's favor, first priority. Now, I forgot what the motto was for them, customer centric first or something like that. That is the reason why Amazon is scaling so much. And I mean, again, it's one of the few things that I hate about selling on Amazon, but once you start dealing with it and, think the way that Jeff Bezos would think about this, it makes sense, because if customers feel safe, they're going to come back to the platform and possibly buy from you again, and therefore making more sales on the long run compared to the refunds that you're going to get in the short term, right? So again, that's just one of the few things that you need to know when selling on Amazon. Now, one of the last things that I want to mention in this video, guys, that I've learned in, selling on Amazon, is that you need to get a program or app, whatever you want to call it, that's called kippah. Now, a lot of sellers that I've noticed when I watch YouTube videos don't really seem to stress this enough. And I'm trying to stress it right now. If you plan on selling on Amazon, first thing you want to get is that kippah chart graph, okay? Now, it's a graph that will literally tell you the statistics of how much an item has sold before, who has the buy box, if Amazon is on the listing. You need to get that program, because without that program, you're essentially screwed on what items to buy and resell on the platform. Now, you could buy random stuff and, reflip it, but some of those items might take forever. They might not ever sell, depending on the price that you're trying to sell them at. And again, you just need that, you need that kippah graph. You need that, software in order to really get on Amazon and, start making some sales. Because when I first started on Amazon, I didn't even know about kippah whatsoever. So I made, multiple mistakes. I made some bad purchases, and, and I've lost a little money because of those mistakes. But again, that was just my first year. But now I'm smarter. I know a little bit more about what I'm doing. And let me tell you, if you plan on selling on Amazon, you guys, you need to get kippah, okay? I don't care what nobody tells you. That's one of the first few things you need, besides a seller account on Amazon, is to get kippah. If you don't have kippah, I don't believe you will be able to scale Amazon the way that you should be able, the way you should be able to be scaling, even more and more. So again, kippah, look it up. Get it if you're gonna, if you're planning on ever starting an Amazon business whatsoever, because again, you're gonna make bad sales without that. And even then, I mean, that thing's not too 100% accurate, but it's way much better to have that than, having nothing whatsoever. So again, those are just some of the few things that I've learned selling on Amazon so far. I mean, we're gonna continue the grind, guys. We're gonna keep you guys posted, updated. We're scaling this business little by little, one box at a time, a box here and there, an order here and there. We're scaling this up little by little. And I mean, I've started making more money doing this, because again, I've started only with the $500 to $1,000 in the beginning. And let me just say, guys, like I mentioned earlier, the more work you put in, the more you're able to work, the more grind you put in, the more time, the more it's going to reward you, okay? You just have to have patience. You also have to be able to enjoy it, okay? I think if you don't really enjoy it, you're not going to be able to scale this the way you should be. But again, just keep up the grind. We're going to keep scaling it. I'm going to keep you guys posted, notified, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, guys? Later.